Imagine waking up 300 years ago. No electricity, no internet, no smartphones, no modern medicine. The world would look completely different from the one we know today. But how did ordinary people really live in the year 1726? What did they eat? How did they work? And what challenges did they face every day? Before we start, if you like intrigations and wondering, how was life before many years, don't forget to subscribe on our channel to don't miss any new story. Everyday life. Most people 300 years ago lived in small villages and worked on farms. Life was controlled by nature. People woke up with the sunrise and worked until sunset. There were no weekends, no vacations, and no machines to make work easier. Farming, cooking, collecting water, and taking care of animals required hours of physical work every single day. For many people, survival was the main goal. Food and cooking food was very different from today. There were no supermarkets and no refrigerators. People had to grow their own food or buy it from local markets. The meals of ordinary families were usually simple: bread, vegetables, grains, beans, and sometimes meat. Sugar, coffee, and exotic spices were expensive and often only available to wealthy people. Nothing was wasted. Food had to last through difficult seasons, especially winter. Hygiene and health. One of the biggest differences was medicine and hygiene. People did not understand bacteria and viruses like we do today. A simple infection that is easily treated now could become deadly 300 years ago. There were no antibiotics, modern hospitals, or advanced surgeries. People also had different ideas about cleanliness. Regular bathing was not as common as today, and daily hygiene depended on where someone lived and how much money they had. Love, family, and society. Life was also different when it came to relationships and family. People often married younger, and marriages were sometimes connected to family, money, or social status. Families were usually larger because children were needed to help with work. Community was extremely important because people depended on neighbors for help during difficult times. Clothing and technology. Clothing was expensive and carefully maintained. Many people owned only a few outfits and repaired them for years. There were no cars, airplanes, phones, or computers. Travel was slow. A journey that takes a few hours today could take several days or even weeks. Ending life 300 years ago was harder, slower, and more dangerous than today. But it was also a world where people lived closer to nature, relied on their communities, and experienced life in a completely different way. The year 1726 feels like another world, but it was the everyday reality for millions of people just a few generations ago. What would you find the hardest if you had to live 300 years ago?